All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Drew from Langlois Vital Nutrition Center back here with you for the next part in my year in nutrition review. I'm wrapping things up best I can here. And in this video, what I want to do is I want to talk about something that's really important. It came up in the documentary, The Game Changers, that I keep referring to, but it's also come up in other situations, so I want to address this. One of the common things that everybody agrees on, whether they're vegan or vegetarian or an omnivore or even a carnivore, is that everybody needs adequate protein intake for things like energy and muscle health. There's other reasons also. I won't make this video that long getting into all the reasons why you need protein, but everybody seems to agree that you need adequate protein. Okay? And we can talk about quality and we can talk about quantity, and that's a really important thing to do, because if you were absolutely disciplined, you could plan out well enough to get adequate protein from a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. It could absolutely be done. You can plan on how many chickpeas, how much soy, lentils, peanut butter, almonds, those sorts of things to get adequate protein intake. But the problem, even though you'd get enough quantity, is quality. And this is established science. We've seen this for a long time. Originally, people would say the net nitrogen utilization is the big way to know how much protein is actually retained by the body and actually used. You can look that up if you'd like to find the definition and how it's measured. It's net nitrogen utilization. But what I want to talk more about in this video is a newer system for determining the value of the protein, or I should say, the quality of the protein, and that's called DIAS. It stands for Digestible Indispensable Amino Acid Score. And there's two main components to how this is determined for a protein. What is in the protein, that is the amino acid profile of it, is considered. And then how much of it is actually retained by the body, what's the value of it, is determined. And that's why we use this system, because it's not just considering if the protein is made of the right things, it's also considering how much of those things are in it and how much of it are actually retained by the body. So when we look at vegan or vegetarian sources for protein, let's take, for example, wheat. So if we look at the DIAS score on wheat, it's usually about 0.2. If we look at the DIAS score for a food like peanut butter, it's about 0.3. Okay. Now if we look at the DIAS score for something like red meat, like sirloin, it's over 1. Depending on the cut of meat, it can be 1.3 or as high as 1.45. So right there, what we know is that the protein that is found in a cut of meat has somewhere between 6 and 8 times the value of the protein that's found in wheat. We know the protein that is found in a cut of meat is somewhere between 4 and 5 times the value of the protein that's found in peanut butter. So, on a vegan diet, you could certainly get adequate quantity of protein, but it is extremely unlikely that you would ever have adequate quality of protein. And the reason I can say that, and the way that I'm determining that, is through the DIAS score. This is another thing I strongly encourage you to look it up. Start to look at the different proteins that you're eating. It is best for you if you emphasize getting proteins with a better DIAS score. Thank you for tuning in. More info to come.